Welcome back to Clout 941. We're here with County Commissioner Carolyn Mason, and we want to talk about your election in 2008. Widely reported that Vern Buchanan, Congressman Vern Buchanan, who was just reelected by a wide margin, was one of the prime movers of wanting you to run for County Commission, and he backed you pretty strongly. Is that kind of sort of how it played out? And describe your relationship with Vern.
I met Vern Buchanan when I was campaigning for the City Commission. I went in to meet with him. He was a mover and shaker in town, and he talked to me about his upbringing in the Detroit area and about his being a minority in his high school. And he struck me as a real hard-working, pulled himself up by his bootstraps kind of person, even though he did not support me at that time. He was very honest, very open, and it was something that I liked about him, and that began my relationship with Vern Buchanan.
And did he encourage you to run for the County Commission?
He did. He did. I remember Memorial Day last year was when I was really just about there making the decision. And I saw him in the parade. I had two grandsons with me. He shook my hand. He said, Sarasota County needs you. I hope you'll think about running. And then Commissioner Mercier had just announced that he would not
Paul Mercier.
Yes, yeah. He would not seek re-election.
And so having a heavyweight like Vern behind you sort of put you over the top, or
it did put me over the top. I had thought about it from the second year I was on the City Commission that one day I would like to run for the County Commission when the opportunity presented itself. But I had met with Commissioner Mercier previously, and he was about 85% sure he was going to run again. So I just put those hopes in the closet and decided to wait until his term was over.
And we talked about before the show the fact that all the newspapers endorsed your opponent, Joan O'Miller. And yet you won, and you won fairly convincingly. Why do you think you won?
I believe that my experience as both an elected official previously and my overall experience and involvement in the greater Sarasota community helped me to convince people that I was the best qualified candidate.
Obviously, the newspapers don't always pick the winners then, huh?
Right.
Now, of course, you made history. You were
Yes.
the first African-American to be elected in a county-wide race in Sarasota County. You grew up here. You've
Yes.
lived here your whole life. What did that mean to you? Did you feel that significance?
I did. I really did. On the City Commission, I was the first African-American female mayor. But this was a lot bigger. Having been born and raised in Sarasota, in 1950 I was born, so that was really during the segregation years of this country. And so for me to come full circle and be elected as the first African American on the County Commission in Sarasota was really huge for me.
And an overwhelming percentage of your support came from white voters.
Yes, yes.
And you did very well in South County.
I did, and we knew that going in. We knew that we would have to get my name out and my record out in South County, because that's where a great many of the Republican votes were and are, and I did not have the name recognition that I have in North County.
Right. How would you say that being a county commissioner is different, the biggest difference between that and being a city commissioner?
The biggest difference I have found is the complexity of the issues. And there are some issues that we deal with at the county commission that we didn't deal with at the city commission, like coastal setbacks and cattle grazing. We didn't deal with those issues at the city commission.
Not in the city, right?
No.
Okay, so there's a whole a wider range of things
Yes.
that you deal with.
Yes.
There was some controversy, I guess, last week about a joint meeting between the city and the county commissioners about the community redevelopment areas that had to do with the city petitioning to have money to be continued to be steered into the Newtown area for revitalization. And you said that you took the position that you weren't sure, given the economy, that that was a good idea. Am I characterizing that fairly? What is your position on it?
My position is this. I support that wholeheartedly. However, what I said was, at this point in time, when we are so uncertain about the economy and where it's going to lead us, I feel that we should wait to make that decision for 9 to 12 months, simply because in 2016 this funding will end. So I believe we have a little time to see where the economy is going to lead us and to make a more fiscally responsible decision.
What you want to decide is if there's enough money to do it?
If there's enough money to do it, yes.
Okay. And now you might take some heat for that.
Oh yes.
I mean,
yes. If you look in the papers, the weeklies, I'm taking heat, but you know, it's Florida. It's a hot climate, so.
Doesn't seem like you're afraid to make tough but sometimes unpopular decisions in your own community. Yeah. All right, when we come back, we'll have our final segment with County Commissioner Carolyn Mason.